the We Were Athletes Once podcast. I'm Cody, and I'm here with Julian, which means we got some hockey to talk today. And before we get into it, we said last episode, UFA class sucks. Prepare for trades. It's going to get crazy. Did you think it was going to get this crazy? This fast, at least?
Yesterday or the day before, it was the day before, it was just the most ridiculous day of trades I've seen in a while outside of a trade deadline. You saw some of the biggest names, some not the biggest names, but very big names in the hockey world get moved, and some of them were expected, but maybe not right now, and then some were guys that were wanting out, but we didn't see that happening for at least a little while longer.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been, I think it was better than the trade deadline. Not as many moves, but way bigger moves.
Way bigger, 100%.
And there were some big old shocks in there, too. I was like, holy cow. Yeah. Before we hit those trades, we've got a couple of signings we need to talk about. Either, just new deals, extensions, or some RFAs that got signed too. There's a lot, but we're going to go through just the big ones. And the first one has to do with a sign-in trade, but we're just going to tell you about the contract first. So the first one is Darren Radish. Signed a 8-year, $8.5 million contract. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this.
A breakout year at 30 is always interesting. So he's on 8.5 until he's 38, I believe now, maybe even 39. I don't know when his birthday is or anything, but he better be able to produce like he did last year for 5 years if you're paying him that. And with this Leafs team, we'll see what happens, but I don't know if he has the same support around him that he did in Tampa for a sort of year like that to happen again, especially with these rumors of Nyes leaving. So I don't hate the move for either team really, but it's one of those where it's just we have to see at least halfway through a season to really make a comment fully on this. But as of right now, I feel like it's all right, but they probably could have signed him for a little less.
Yeah. I have to remind myself every time one of these trades happen that the cap is going up. Mm-hmm. So to not view it as a flat cap era number anymore, because that's what I look at. I first thought was 8.5, like that's a lot, and then I'm like, cap's going up significantly. Like in a couple years, 8.5 is going to feel like 6 or something.
Yeah.
So, you're talking about a player that's only had one good season, honestly. Yeah. Now he put up big numbers this year in Tampa, but again, it's Tampa. And like you mentioned, he is going to be with Toronto. We'll just talk about that real quick. They sent a 5th-round pick to Tampa to get Darren Radish. It was something that Toronto desperately needs. They need defensemen, especially with Morgan Rielly looking like he's probably going to get moved. You've got almost nothing. So Darren Radish was a very necessary piece. So if you move out Rielly, I think he was sitting at about 7.5. So you're only increasing your cap by about $1 million. So it's not horrible. I don't like the years though. I'm not on board for signing players until they're 36 plus years old. And this is taking them to 38, almost 39. So I don't like the years. The number was a little high for me, but desperate times call for desperate measures, and Toronto's desperate on that back end.
If it was like you're saying, if it was like a 5-year contract, maybe, I think. Yeah. And if you knew he was going to do it again, I feel like it would be a really solid deal. But he had 1 year, and I don't think it was all that impressive in the playoffs. So
no, and the thing is, like, when you talk about contracts, you want higher AAV, you have to take a shorter deal. I think he got a really good AAV on a long-term deal. I would have thought 8.5 was coming on like a 5-year deal as well. But, Toronto did what they had to do to get him. So, small signing we're not really going to talk about. Nick Delorier gets signed to a 2-year deal back to to Carolina. I think it's a good move with some of the other moves that happen in division. You got to get a little toughness
Oh yeah,
on that team for what's going to be coming. The next big move, though, was Jason Dickinson re-signing for 5 years with Edmonton at 4 per.
that's just an all right contract. Maybe a 3C. Maybe he'll get some second line minutes. Doubt it, but he's probably your 3C for 4 million. Look, as we were saying, the cap's going up. Uh, Once again, 5-year contract goes till he's about 35, I believe. So
Mm-hmm.
it'll be interesting. He did have an all right end of the season after the deadline with the Oilers. So I don't hate the contract. They desperately need some center depth. And will it really change their future or increase odds of going deeper in the playoffs? I don't really think so, but it's just kind of a filler that they needed, a hole that they needed to fill.
Yeah, it's a depth forward, which feels weird at $4 million, but
Caps up.
Caps up. Yeah, maybe he's a 2C when McDavid finally says I want out of here. So it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
Also, side note, it actually happened. Mike Babcock is officially the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. So we said last episode it's all but coming. It came.
And your
So,
phone guy.
Yeah, have fun. That's okay. That's a guy, Jason Dickinson, that Mike Babcock is going to destroy.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for that relationship to sour. Then we had another one, Bobby McMahon. After the trade from Toronto to Seattle, Bobby McMahon re-signs 6 years, $5.75 million. Again, this is a 30-year-old player signing a 6-year deal.
And it's the Kraken adding another middle six forward.
I was just going to say, keep doing what you're doing. It's clearly not working.
They were inserted in the league to be the most mediocre team of all time, apparently. They have one kind of rising star, I guess you could say, in Matty Beniers. Maybe Shane Wright if he's even on the team next year.
He's been traded.
So you look at the Kraken and you go, oh, there's a guy. And then it's just, oh, there's another guy. And just like, it's a bunch of forwards who could score, maybe. So they'll put up maybe 40, 50 points a year and stat. I like the contract. He's a great player.
Yes.
On another team, that would be an amazing signing if the Kraken had what it took to win a cup, which I don't see. So, I mean, I guess if they're looking to move some pieces and he slides in maybe 2 or 3C spot, works, I think. But if he's playing third line minutes with that cap hit, I don't really like it all that much.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up playing like second line wing. I think he's going to get pushed to the wing. This one, like I said, I don't like taking players into age 35 plus if necessary. But I actually like this contract. If it's taking him to 36, it's only at 5.75 with this increase in cap. That's going to be nothing in a few years. I like Bobby McMahon. I like what he brings. But again, this is a Seattle team that it just feels like they keep signing the same type of player over and over again, and they don't have that elite offensive player they need to get. Like, this is a team that I thought should have been out there trying to go get like a Jordan Kyrou.
I agree.
Or, swinging big for a Larkin or someone like that. Like, they needed bigger upside. Again, your leading scorer was Jordan Eberle. He's like 35 years old. Like, you gotta go get somebody.
Yeah.
And you're not picking super early in this draft. So, like,
what are they, like 8, 7
I
maybe?
think they're 8.
Yeah.
Then we had Connor Murphy.
This
contract I hate.
Yeah.
33-year-old Connor Murphy signs a 5-year deal worth $4.1 million. Again, the cap hit is not the problem.
No, it's the term.
You're taking Connor Murphy, who's just okay, until he's 38.
Yeah.
Like, what are we...
I don't even think he was that great for them this year.
No, he wasn't.
So, like, if that's what it has to take to get a defenseman in Edmonton, maybe, I guess
that's kind of what it seems like.
I don't know if there's no draw to go play there. You kind of the McDavid show, and
Well,
After
they've
this
got no money.
they have no money. So
You
after this
keep
year, McDavid leaves. This team is abysmal. Even with Draisaitl, this team is awful. I I don't understand it.
honestly, the best thing for this franchise would be to trade Connor McDavid.
Yeah, you
Like,
gotta.
as much as
You
it would
still have good
suck
use of
for their
Draisaitl.
fans, you're talking what, $13.5 million is probably, I think that's what he makes.
Yeah,
You're talking about two solid players that you can insert into this lineup. Plus, that doesn't include the draft picks, the high end prospects, the young NHL ready players you can insert immediately.
yep,
Like, could you imagine they put him on the block and Utah, who has one of the best prospect pools, goes, we'll give you TJ Ginla, we'll give you Caleb Desnoyers, we'll give you Dmitry Simashev, and we'll give you 2 first-round picks. Like,
yeah.
you've got
You've
you've got
got
a
5
future
first-round
now.
picks of
Like, you've got a future. But they won't.
It has to
They
happen.
won't.
They'll
It
have another all right season this year and either
McDavid
barely
will
miss
win
the playoffs or maybe win one round. I don't think this team has what it takes to win in the
No.
playoffs.
And you're trying to move Darnell Nurse, and no
Yeah.
one's taking that full contract.
No, God no.
So you're going to be retaining,
There
and
goes
you're
the
not
money.
going to be getting a great piece back.
Yep.
So, it's bad.
Yeah.
Edmonton fans, I'm sorry, because it's ugly. You need to tear it down. As
Yeah.
much as you don't want to lose McDavid or Draisaitl, it's going to be drawn out until McDavid's in the last year of his deal, and then you go talk extension, and he's going to be like, I'm not re-signing. This is not working. I'm out.
Yeah.
And then they're going to trade him for less than they could now at the deadline or the season before he says he wants out and won't re-sign.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's ugly. Sorry, Edmonton fans. Not really, but keep losing Canada. Then we had another sign-in trade, which happened yesterday. We have Alex Tuch. We said he was going to be the most overpaid, the best UFA on the market, and now he's off the market.
Yep.
He has re-signed because he got an 8-year deal, so he had to re-sign with Buffalo at 8 years, $10.5 million per season. And then he got traded to the Washington Capitals for a 3rd-round pick, I believe.
Yeah, it was a 3rd or 4th or something like that.
It was a 3rd next year, I believe.
I guess the Capitals are trying to make a last hurrah for Ovi.
Well, I think this might have signaled Ovi's not coming back.
I could also agree with that. Going out and getting Kyrie and Tuck, there's your wingers. So we'll see. I don't know, but I don't really hate it. But you'll get another good 4 or 5 years of Tuck.
Again, we're talking about a 30-year-old getting an 8-year deal.
So he starts until he's 38, making $10.5 million. And who knows, in 8 years, the cap might be ridiculous, and that'll be a fly on the wall. But for the next 4 years, it could be all right, maybe 4 or 5. I feel like he might start declining. He had an all right year this year, kind of ghosted in the playoffs a little bit. So we'll see what happens there. I think it's just going to be a Capitals team that's all right, but it won't do all that much.
Yeah, and it's not like it's terrible right now. They've got about 12.7 in cap space.
Yeah.
And the only real player we really have to worry about is Ovechkin if he's coming back.
Yeah.
And he's not getting all that money anymore. He's 40 years old, so like maybe he gets an $8 million 1-year deal, something like that. And then you do have to worry after next year. Ryan Leonard does become an RFA, and that's a player that you want to lock up long term. I think that's their future captain long term. That's just the kind of player Ryan Leonard is. He's gritty. He gets to the front of the net. I absolutely love Ryan Leonard, one of my favorite young players. So really, that's the only thing you have to worry about is in a year you need to sign him probably to his big contract. But other than that, like Cole Hudson's still 3 years away from RFA status.
Yeah.
Goaltending's locked up long enough. But yeah, you don't have really anything other than Anthony Beauvillier coming off the books for the next 2-3 years. So their team looks pretty set at this point of what it's going to look like now and into the future. We're just waiting to see, is Ovi coming back for one more year or not? There hasn't been any news. We haven't been updated on anything. So I think, it's a solid team. Like if you look at those top 6 wingers, um, Alex Tuck, Jordan Kyrou, Tom Wilson, Alexei Protas, like there's your top 4 wingers if Ovechkin doesn't come back. And if he
Yep.
does, one of those are sliding down. Oh, yeah, and Ryan Leonard. Like, those are your top 6 wingers. Now, I question the center depth. That could be a
Yep.
problem unless they're going to move Tuck or. I mean, Dubois has to play center.
Yeah.
He has to come back and actually not suck, which he's never proven that he can. But yeah, otherwise it's Dylan Strome is your number 1 center right now.
Yeah.
Outside of Dubois. So, and that's my one concern with them. Their defense is okay. I don't have huge issues with it. Their goaltending's okay. I don't have issues with it. So, like, I think this is a team that, whether it's one last run for Ovi or this is just the team of the now and future, like, I don't mind it. It's not super high end, but it has potential. I don't mind it at all. What else happened? Isaac Rosen re-signed a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's big because Winnipeg is struggling to keep players in Winnipeg. So anytime you get any of these young players for a couple of years that are ready to play right now, then you're doing something. The Stars had several middling moves. And then we got to one, I believe it happened late last night because I didn't see it until this morning. Zach Benson gets a 7-year, $7.5 million contract.
That is a great contract.
I love it for him. It's good for Buffalo. They're locking up a young, really good player that has a bright future early. But for Zach Benson, he's 21. And he got a 7-year deal, which means he's going to hit UFA at 28. He can still get another 7 or 8-year contract
100%.
coming out of this one. That's going to be massive if he plays like we think he can. So I love this for both of them because Zach Benson looks like he has a huge future in front of him. And anytime Buffalo gets one of these kids locked up long term, that's a big deal for Buffalo.
It is. They've also struggled with keeping people.
So you've got Dahlin, you've got Power, you've got Benson locked up. Like, you're starting to see some of this young core getting locked up, and it's looking a lot better for Buffalo's future. I was a little worried with Tuck trying to go to market of what that was going to look like because you're losing the Buffalo kid from Buffalo, which kind of sucks. But they're kind of going youth movement here, and there's some good youth because, I mean, and that also doesn't include, Tage Thompson over there who's locked up long term. So you've got some really interesting pieces in Buffalo. And we'll get to a trade that they made. So they've got some draft picks here to do some stuff with as well. I think that was the last big signing.
Yep.
Let's talk about these trades, man.
Yeah, these are ridiculous.
This was just crazy. Okay, so I believe it started with Darren Radish. Well, actually, it started before that.
There was a few that we talked about last episode.
Yeah. Did we talk?
We talked about
the Philly Toronto one.
Yep. Ross Colton and Kessler. I think that's where we stopped. We did the Sharks Bruins one was the last one we talked about.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's a small deal. Okay, so we mentioned it earlier. Darren Radish for a 5th-round pick goes to the Toronto Maple Leafs. They get one of their defenders. It adds on because they had just gotten Emile Andre, which I think he will be in their defensive core next year. He's 24, been a prospect. I think he's ready to take that leap. Maybe it's third pairing minutes. but he's got some offensive upside. He can help run a power play if he needs to. So you add Andre, you add Darren Radish, you've still got OEL, you still have Brandon Carlo, which I've heard rumors they might be trying to move him.
Yep.
They're trying to move Morgan Riley. This is going to be a completely different defensive core outside of OEL, it kind of seems like.
Yep.
But they're at least, which honestly, that's not a bad thing because their defense was so bad that maybe this is what they need. Okay, so then we get into the first trade that was kind of a head scratcher for me. And it was Seattle doing more Seattle things. I don't get it.
I don't either.
So Seattle trades a first round pick this year, which is pick 25, to Florida, along with a conditional second round pick next year.
Yep.
For Mackie Samoskevich.
I don't get. Yeah.
Wow, you could have gotten such a better player than Mackie Samoskevich that's more proven.
Yeah.
And with more offensive upside for a first and a second. Like, what are we doing?
Like, there's got to be some cabal of NHL investors making the Panthers good, because in what world is he getting a first and second? And then they go around and use that for a trade we'll talk about in a minute, but I don't get it. I don't get it.
At first look, I'm like, man, Florida just gave up a young, cost-controlled player that they probably really need for their lineup with what it looks like. But they are getting a first and a second. And then from Seattle's perspective, you look at it and you go, why?
Yeah,
like,
what are you doing?
Mackie Samoskevich is 23. Like, don't get me wrong. There's potential that he keeps improving, that he gets a little better. But I don't ever see him as a top-line winger. Maybe a second-line winger. But I think right now he's a third-line winger. Again, Seattle keeps getting second and third-line wingers to add to this team. And it's not what they need. Like, this just, like, I guess you can go with like the 2019 Blues, like death by a million cuts. Like every line you put out there has potential, but you're not scared of any of them.
No.
So
that team had a few lines that were really solid. The Kraken have
mediocre. Is Jaden Schwartz a UFA?
I can check that real quick.
Because if he's a UFA, if he's not a UFA, like, you're talking about Schwartz and Eberle. Not only do you have second, third line wingers, you've got aging second and third line wingers.
He's a UFA.
Okay. So you've got a replacement.
There he is. Sweet.
So I like that more for them than Schwartzy. As much as I like him, he's getting old. But you better hope that this player has a higher ceiling than I think he does, because it's just is a big question. I don't know. I think, like, we'll talk about the draft in a little bit, but like picks like 20, maybe even like 16 through like 45, 50 are kind of interchangeable a lot for me in this year's draft. So I get, like, okay, like maybe the guy we like is going to be there in the second when we pick again, but like, it's a bonus first round pick, and I think you could have done better than that.
100%.
That's just my problem with this.
I agree.
So, I don't know. Maybe trade costs are high. I would have thought with as many players ready to be traded, that trade costs would have maybe skewed the market to where teams weren't getting as much. They are getting everything. So, as we'll see here in a few of our other trades, the team that gave up the big piece is getting at least enough, if not more than I would have expected. But this trade made sense from the Florida perspective not too long after, because was the same day? It was later that day. The Florida Panthers turn around and trade their number 9 overall pick, this pick that they just acquired, the 25th overall pick, a 2029 first overall pick, and a 2027 second round pick for Brady Tkachuk.
Yeah, this is about to go to dinner.
About dropped my phone and was like, what is happening in this world?
We were about to leave dinner on Father's Day. About to get in the car. Twitter blows up like nine notifications at once. I just see Brady Kachuk's name 5 times. Oh, where to? Not St. Louis. Oh, the Panthers. Sweet.
Yeah.
We're sitting there waiting for the return for a minute. 3 first-round picks in a second. 3.
You're like, holy crap.
Yeah. That really sets a tone for the rest of the market, too.
It did.
Brady Kachuk's a great player, sure. Pretty young. Has another year on his contract, I believe. 1 more year at a pretty low cap hit for what he can offer, I guess you could say. He also plays physical, plays the body. He's been a captain. Now he's playing with his brother and then 4 other bruisers on this team. So,
dude, we got to talk about this real quick. And this is why I said the Nick Delorier needed to get mentioned for that division.
Yeah.
Because anyone who's playing Florida now we're not even going to talk about their good players that aren't menaces to society.
Yeah.
But you're talking Brady and Matthew Tkachuk on the same team. You're talking Brad Marchand, the Rad, on the same team. And you're talking Sam Bennett on the same team. Oh, and a trade that happened today let's bring this up real quick. They just acquired Garnet Hathaway.
They're trying to do
what is happening?
Yeah, they're trying to bring like the Broad Street Bullies back or something.
This might be worse.
This is brutal. It is
like, can you imagine playing
play against them?
Like every night is going to be rough.
Yeah.
But can you imagine playing a 7-game series against this team in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Players are going to be hurt left and right.
Yeah. Your middle 6 is going to get absolutely beat up by their middle 6.
And it's not like these are like we talk about these guys. Sam Bennett can score.
Oh yeah.
Brady Tkachuk can score. Matthew Tkachuk can score. Brad Marchand, though old, can still score. Like, what is happening?
I don't know how they can afford it.
Like, is this the LA Rams of the NHL? Like, we're just gonna go get every good player and oh yeah, we have Sasha Barkov. Oh yeah, we have Sam Reinhart. Oh yeah, we have Aaron Ekblad. Oh yeah, Nico Mikola's on a good long-term deal.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap. Now, we have one question mark with Florida still.
Goalie.
Who's going to play goal? Garner Hathaway, this was the latest trade. It happened this morning. We'll talk about it now because we're talking about Florida. They traded Garnet Hathaway and a 5th-round pick, 50% retained. So they get him at $1.2 million instead of $2.4, and a 3rd and a 4th is going back to Philly. Not this year. One's this year, one's next year.
Yeah.
So they've got about $4 million in cap space, maybe 5, to sign a goalie. You're not getting Bobrovsky for 5.
No.
This just feels. In every way, we've said this all off season. Like, this was the first thing I said of the off season. Jordan Binnington is going to be a Florida Panther. The Blues are going to retain 50%. It's going to bring him down to $3 million, and he is going to be a Florida Panther. What comes back? I don't know. Future 2nd, future 3rd, something. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know what other prospects they have.
No clue.
Oh yeah, and they have Anton Lundell. We didn't even talk about.
Yeah.
As their 3rd-line center. So, gosh, this team is loaded. Their top 9 is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Now, they could still trade an Evan Rodriguez, who's got like 1 year at $3 million left. You still have Luosterainen. Like, this team is so good.
It's ridiculous.
Like, if they get a goalie, now, people will hate on Jordan Binnington, and I get it. He's had his ups and his downs. He can be emotional. But what we know about Jordan Binnington is when the lights are the brightest, he shows up. They have a good enough team. He doesn't have to be standing on his head every night during the regular season. They might need him to stand on his head sometimes in the playoffs, and that is what Jordan Binnington does. I think it is the perfect fit. I keep hearing things like, oh, what about Aiden Hill, or what about Jacob Markstrom, or whatever.
Yeah.
Jordan Binnington is the perfect fit for Florida. I fully expect it to happen at some point.
I agree.
And if it doesn't, I'll be shocked. Hold on,
I
gotta do the Twitter update real quick because I have
You never know.
five things and we could break something. Let's see. For what it's worth, Frank Saravalli, one player coming off the trade target board today is Colton Parayko. Blues have told inquiring teams Parayko is unavailable. Same for Robert Thomas.
Interesting.
So, to me, it makes me think either they talked to Parayko and Thomas and they said, yeah, we're not waiving, or they're like, hey, this team might not be quite as far off as we think it is. So, interesting, especially now. We'll get to the Blues in a minute. We'll save that for a minute. Then we had another big trade, and I think this is maybe the biggest overpayment of all trades that happened. The Calgary Flames, not the team I expected to do this, have acquired Simon Nemec and Max Siplikov. In return, they have traded a 2027 first, a 2028 first, a 2026 second, and Etienne Morin, defense prospect, who was drafted 2 years ago, I believe.
This is
either first round or early second round. New Jersey, way to fleece Calgary.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only way to put this. This is a fleece job. Simon Nemec was a top pick, 2 years ago?
2 or 3.
He's 22, so yeah, a couple years ago. He's one of the top picks of the draft. Has not panned out. He seems disinterested in playing defense. That's a problem. Now, maybe change of scenery. Maybe Craig Conroy talks to him. Maybe the Flame system gets to him. Whatever. Max Siplikov, whatever. It's a 1-year deal. He'll play bottom 6, second, third line with this team. But this is my problem. One, you gave up 2 firsts. The second this year is pick 35.
Yeah.
So it's basically a late first. And then a defensive prospect in Etienne Morin, which he's going to be more of an offensively gifted player, I think. So, that makes a little bit of sense. But I believe he's a lefty. Nemec is a righty. So on your right side, though, in Calgary, your top 2, what you expect it to be for now in the future, is going to be Zane Parekh and Simon Nemec.
Yeah.
Where is your defense?
Yeah.
Neither of those players play defense. I don't care how high of a ceiling Zane Parekh offense is. He is abysmal in his own end.
Yep.
And so is Simon Nemec. Like, what?
It's brutal.
I don't know what. Craig Conroy, loved you as a player. I'm one of your biggest supporters as a player in the NHL. I know there's not a ton of them, but I loved what you did for St. Louis. Great PK guy, good bottom 9 guy. But what are we doing here in Calgary? Because there's also rumors on top of this that they're looking to move Connor Zary, who's a 24-year-old center winger, for about the equivalent of a second-round pick.
Which is interesting.
What is happening?
I don't know. I think they might be going into full rebuild mode. I mean, they kind of already are, but...
Oh, they are.
Yeah, but... if they can add some defense around Nemec, maybe. I think...
And around Parekh.
Yeah, it'll be all right. They have time, is basically...
Yeah.
I think.
Well, here's the deal. Jonathan Huberdeau is 33 and still signed for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more years at 10.5. So he's going to 38 at 10.5.
Yep.
Good luck. He also has a no move clause for the next 3 years, but I expect if they wanted to move him, he would welcome that. Yeah. You have Matt Coronado signed long term at 6.5. Amazing deal. That's gonna be the McKinnon deal of the future because I think Matt Coronado is going to be awesome. You've got Serengovich signed for 4 more years. Strome is up after this year. Farabee has 1 more year after this year. Blake Coleman's up after this year. Morgan Frost is up after this year. Connor Zary has 1 more year after this year, but you're looking to move him. Backlund at 37 has 1 more year after this year. Martin Popisil has 3 years on his deal. Siplikov's up after this. Hanzik has one more year on his ELC. Olafson is currently a UFA. Lomberg's a UFA. Beecher's an RFA.
Yep.
Defense, you only have one defensive player signed past next year, and it's Kevin Ball, which
That's
I like
cool.
Kevin Ball. Kevin Ball is the perfect player to play with one of Nemec or Perek because
Yeah.
he is a pure defensive defenseman, which is what they need. Zach Whitecloud, they have to move him. He is on a great deal for one more year after this year. I love Zach Whitecloud. Trade him to St. Louis, please. I think he's a great second or third pairing right-handed defenseman on a sweetheart deal. But yeah, you've got Nemec, who's an RFA, so he needs a contract. You have Zane Perek, one more year on his ELC, one more year of Whitecloud, one more year of Alimata, and then 5 years of Kevin Ball. And that is it. Like this team. Oh, and Dustin Wolf signed a 5-year, $7.5 million contract last year. So you've got him and Devin Cooley. Your goaltending is set. Like you're not worried about that.
Yeah.
But when I look at this team and I'm like looking at their prospects, like Andrew Basha, I kind of like. He'll be a power forward. They traded for Brendan Aumon. Hasn't turned out what everyone thought he was going to be. William Stromgren could be okay. Defense, Hunter Bershevitz,
Yeah.
That's it. Like, this team is not good. Like,
No.
I think this could very well be the first overall pick next year. Like, that's how bad they are.
It's brutal. It's brutal. And
so this has to just be, and you're giving him no defense. So we'll get into what they're going to do in the draft, but I might change what I do with my actual mock draft that I made to them. Because I had a forward going here, and maybe a left-handed defensive defenseman might be a better choice.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see whenever we get to that. Then we saw another big trade happen because of the Brady Tkachuk trade. Ottawa needed to fill a top-line winger role, top 6 winger role. And so they traded that number 9 overall pick that they got from Florida, immediately turned around and traded it to San Jose for William Eklund. Also, I believe, is it Casper Haltinen? Yeah, Casper Haltinen, who I did like coming out of the draft when he got drafted. And then Brandon Svoboda, who I don't know anything about.
I don't know him either.
But Haltinen, I like that potential there. It gives you a little bit of a power forward type of guy that could go into the bottom 6 role. He's only 21, so he's probably not going to be playing with the club next year. But you get William Eklund, who is a high upside winger that can fill out your top 6. How do you like this fit? And the trade in general.
I think it's a pretty even trade. The Sens get some, I don't know, Svoboda, so he might be good, might not. I don't know. Never heard of him, but Haltinen has time. He could be interesting, so we'll see what happens there. But Eklund's obviously the main piece, and for the 9th overall pick, I feel like if they're trying to still be competitive, I mean, they made the playoffs this year. No, that was last year they made the playoffs. Or did they make it this year?
I think they made it this year.
Oh, they got first rounded by the Canes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a team that's trying to make the playoffs again. Eklund's young, has 2 more years on his contract. No, 3.
He's in his first year of the extension. Yeah. Okay. He signed through 2029.
Okay. So he's still got a few years left there. So you got some time to see the fit, move around, see what happens. I think that'll be very interesting paired up with Stützle. Both fast, can make some cool plays, both have some speed. But it is, if Batherson doesn't get that, I think Batherson's a RFA, is he not?
I thought he got a deal.
He might have gotten a deal.
Like last offseason, I thought he got a deal. When did he sign this deal? He's got one more.
One more year? It'll be interesting. He's probably the goal scorer on that line. You'll have Stützle middle, Batherson left, Eklund left or right. You can switch them, honestly. But I think that's a very interesting top line. And I'm surprised the Sharks actually got rid of Eklund. It makes me think they're going to use that second overall pick. But we'll see what happens there. I like this trade a lot for both teams, honestly. The Sharks now have the chance to draft Stenberg and a defenseman in the draft as well.
Yeah, Batherson's on the last year of his deal this year.
Okay.
So they need to give him one. I mean, but now you're looking at it like Eklund's got 3 years. Dylan Cousins, so 23. 25, Dylan Cousins got 4 years. Shane Pinto, 25, has 4 years. Tim Stützle, 24, has 5 years. So, like, you can start to see what they're doing. Oh, and by the way, William Eklund, one of his line mates, buddies, is Fabian Zetterlund, who he's going to play with there in Ottawa. So you've got some good stuff there. You got Ridley Gregg signed for 3 more years before he's even an RFA at 23. So, like, you can start to see what they're doing with this young core. I mean, and on the defensive end, Sanderson's got 5 years at 23. Tyler Cleven's about to be an RFA. Carter Yakimchuk has 3 years on his ELC. So, like, Jordan Spence is an RFA right now at 25. So, like, this is a solid team even though you're losing Brady, like, I don't mind what you're doing right now. And that's on top of all of the draft picks that you have. And that doesn't mean they're going to draft all those players. That just means they have ammo. Whether they're taking a lottery pick in the draft or they're using that to go out like they just did with William Eklund and trading pieces to go get you your young core that you made. So I don't – for what Ottawa was stuck with Tkachuk saying I'm not going to re-sign, they went out and made the best of it, and I really like what they did. I don't know about the fit, just because I feel like you got rid of almost all of your physicality now, and you brought in another finesse player. I worry about – I mean, Cousins plays more of that power forward type role. Drake Batherson's not a little guy by any mean, but you definitely got rid of a lot of grittiness. Maybe need to bring some of that in.
I agree.
And then the next trade, one close to us, one that's been rumored for a lot of years now. Jordan Kyrou finally got moved from St. Louis to Washington. Not a place I necessarily saw going. And this is what's interesting. So this trade broke. I was on the phone with my dad, and I was like, hey, have you been watching NHL Network? He's like, no, what's going on? I'm like, every trade is happening right now. Like, get home and watch it. And he's like, all right, I'm on my way home right now. I'm going to turn it on. And as we're on the phone, I'm like, Kyrou just got traded. You sent me a text, Kyrou to Washington. And I'm like, pulling up my Twitter as I'm on the phone. I'm like, he's going to Washington. He's like, return? I'm like, I don't know yet. And I'm like, pulling up their prospects. And I'm like, what I thought was going to happen, I said they're going to get one of 16 or 18. And they're going to get one of their prospects. That's what I thought the value was going to be. And so I'm like, my guess is 16 or 18. And I'm going through their prospects, and I'm like, oh, Milton Gastrin. That is the guy that's coming back. We need center depth. He's a Swede. There was talk of him going to the Blues last year at the draft. And so I'm like, that's what it's going to be. And then we get the actual return, and it is pick 16. It is Milton Gastrin, and I was like, I am good. Felt real good about myself. And then Connor McMichael coming back too. Holy crap, I think Washington gave up too much.
I agree. And we sold a little low on Kyrou. If we would have sold him maybe last year, there could have been a bigger return. Sure. But for what the year Kyrou had, you've seen what he can do in the past. He has 3 30-goal seasons. He was 70 points last year. So Capitals are getting a solid player if they can break his mindset of not trying. As someone who's watched a lot of Blues hockey, it seems to be that he has all this speed. And then he doesn't use it. He tries to be McDavid and do 90 moves to get through 2 players and just loses the puck.
Please go in a straight line.
Yeah. It's really annoying as a fan watching him because you've seen it before when he does turn on his speed, how easily he can beat a player. And it's awesome, and you wonder why. Oh, why not? Why doesn't he do that more? It's mind-boggling sitting there watching him try and do more than is needed. He's trying to make the hard play instead of taking It's in all sports. Why are you
Hmm.
trying to force the hard play? Take the route that's going to work and is the easy route. If it's going to work, it's going to work. And doing three moves and trying to be McDavid or Kucherov,
Yeah,
it's not you.
and he's a scorer. And
He
this year,
scores.
he has decided that he wants to be more of a playmaker. I'm like, shoot the
Yeah,
puck. Like
shoot it, please.
you have three
So
30 goal seasons, and it's not because you're getting tap ins. It's because you're shooting the puck, and you're not doing that this year.
yeah,
So
if
if he changes his mindset, you've got a very good offensive player
yeah,
there
and on
in
a great
Washington.
contract. If he's scoring 30
Oh
goals a
yeah,
year for $8 million, great
you take
contract.
that all day.
And it's a great trade, honestly, for both teams. I mean, kind of. The Blues get younger in that center role. McMichael might play that 2C. We'll find out if he's on the wing or playing 2C.
I think he'll be
Um,
a center.
yeah, Gastrin will be interesting in the next few years. I don't think he'll make the team yet. Not a
No,
chance. But
no, he's
he's
19.
he's far out. But and then the Blues had another, as we're calling it, piece of ammo, and now have 4 first round
Four,
draft picks. I don't
four.
remember a time seeing 4 first round draft picks by any team.
No,
I
I've only
no
ever seen three a couple of
three.
times. The Blues
Yeah,
had it a couple years ago. I remember when Boston had their three in the middle of the first round, and they shot themselves in the foot on all three of them.
yes,
Um, San Jose, I believe, has three also now in
yeah.
this first
They
round.
have a late and two top
Yeah.
tens.
So, I mean, but the Blues, man, 11, 15, 16 are their first three, and then
Yeah.
29. You can do some damage with that, whether
Oh
it's
yeah.
moving up in this draft, which comments from Doug Armstrong said, if you're 1, 2, 3, or 4, call me. Like
Yep.
he's looking to move up into that top four. It'll be interesting because I think they want Ivar Stenberg. They've got Otto Stenberg, his brother. It seems like that is the guy they want to go get.
Yep.
Um, with San Jose getting pick 9, that seems a little less likely now because you can get a defenseman at 9 and don't have to force it at 2. So who's still available at 3 and 4 if they're looking to move that? Um, we'll see. But it's very interesting, and that doesn't mean they have to move up because we know Doug Armstrong has said, I'm looking to move for pieces in that 21 to 26 age group to fit with
Yeah.
this core. And we hear there's some names out there that are interesting. You've got a Connor Zary, which you don't need a first to do that. Dylan Larkin's a little older than that. Does he want to come to St. Louis? Probably not. But you've got the pieces if you want to do it now.
Yeah.
Because you can include a young center like Dvorsky and several first and maybe a defenseman in that deal.
You can give
You
Detroit
can,
their first back.
yeah, you can look at Matthew Nyes, who's rumored to be on the block. So
Yep.
it starts to get a little more, and that's just the players we know about because we didn't know. There were rumors maybe Brady would look to be moved, but like we didn't know William Eklund was an option ever. Like so, there's names that come out of the woodworks that can be done. So,
Yep.
I agree. This could be a very good trade for both teams. I've seen reports of grading this where people are like, "Oh, Washington got way better end of this deal," and I've seen other players like, "I hate what Washington did. St. Louis dominated this trade." And as a St. Louis fan, I think we're all happy with it. We knew it
Yeah.
was time for Jordan to move on, and to get a first and a prospect, a center prospect, was something I was good with. But to add a 25-year-old center and Connor McMichael, who kind of plays both ways, has a little bit of upside. Again, like Jordan, had a little bit of a down year scoring this year, but he's put up over 20 goals a couple of times. So you're getting that young depth that fits in that core age on top of those things. So I love it as a Blues fan. I watched his interview with the Washington. I loved how he responded. It shows the maturity that he has gotten over the years because it wouldn't have been like that a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then we get to my least favorite, but favorite trade out of all of them. I'm so happy. I'm so happy about this trade. The Chicago Blackhawks have acquired Bowen Byram and Jordan Greenway. In return, they have sent Buffalo pick number 4 in this year's draft a second round pick in next year's draft in Louis Crevier, 25-year-old defenseman on an ELC.
Yep.
As a Blues fans, suck it, Chicago. You
Yeah.
just shot yourself in the foot a few more times. What are
Does
we doing?
does Byram have a contract, or does he have 1 year?
I believe he is on the last year of his deal. Let me look real quick. He's either on the last year of his deal or he's an. Actually, I think he's an RFA. I
Okay.
think he's an RFA,
So there's a chance he doesn't even sign. So
which
that's
would
always
be
a thing.
well. I mean,
It'd be
they'll
hilarious.
qualify him. Yeah, they'll qualify him. So let me just double check. No, he's got one more year. So he's 6'2", or maybe that's just his qualifying is 6'25". I'm not sure, but he's got this next year. He's at 6'25". So,
Okay.
and then he's a UFA, not an RFA, a UFA. Chicago, you better lock him up immediately for a lot of money. I don't think he deserves number one money, but I think Chicago's going to give him number one money.
Yep. This is we knew he was getting traded. Never in a million years did I think the 4th overall pick would be involved unless they were getting another solid player back in return. Maybe it was going to be a Byram and a Tuck, and the Blackhawks signed Tuck, something like that. Who knows? When the trade broke, it was the full return wasn't out yet. I was sitting there. I saw Byram was going to Chicago, and I was like, okay, that's fine. What's the return? And then, like maybe 5 minutes later, the 4th overall pick's involved, and I was, what?
I just laughed.
Yeah,
I just laughed.
Not only is the 4th overall pick, they get a second as well, and Crevier, who had a pretty good year for the Blackhawks, out of that decor, and he had out of that young decor that the Blackhawks have, he had a really solid year. He's probably, if not the best one, in my opinion. I've got a lot of buddies who are Chicago Blackhawks fans, and they are very high on Crevier, and him leaving is a surprise that he's the piece going back. He had a very solid year for what the Blackhawks did this year.
How does Kyle Davidson have a job?
I don't know. I don't know.
They just re-signed him to a multi-year deal in April. And then you're like, we have to get better immediately for Bedard, and you trade the 4th overall pick for Bowen Byram?
Yep.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
William Eklund and Kasper Halton and Svoboda got number 9. And you're telling me Byram and Greenway gets 4 and a second?
Mm-hmm.
What's the second pick this year? 45. So they're getting 4 and 45.
Yeah.
45 is a pick where some of those first-round talent guys that you think could be there in the 20s could fall to. What?
I agree.
And I don't think Buffalo's going to keep 4. I think they're going to move.
No, they're going to move that. They don't need it.
No, they're going to move it. If they don't, they can always use right-handed defensemen, and there's going to be at least one there that, I mean, they're going to have their choice of defensemen, most likely.
Yeah.
But holy crap. Then we saw kind of a smaller one, but it intrigued me, and I don't like it.
No, it's a very interesting trade.
Nashville trades Fedor Svechkov and Zachary Leroux to Colorado. So interdivision rivalry gets traded for Jack Drury, Chase Bradley, and a 2029 third. I don't like this pick. I think Fedor Svechkov is a solid two-way center that's 23 on an ELC. And Zachary Leroux is probably going to be a fourth-line grinder type of guy. But they immediately fit into the bottom 6 of Colorado's team right now.
Yeah. It's
And Jack Drury in a third is really... That's worth it.
I don't know what the Predators...
Like, Nashville should be rebuilding, and they're trading away young guys on the cheap.
This is the second trade they've done with Nashville in, like, the last 2 weeks, and both of them...
None of them make sense.
Been better for Colorado.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going
don't
back to
like it.
my Panthers statement. There's a cabal going on here. Avs and the Panthers have to
Just
be good.
loading up Colorado and Florida to go at it. Listen, if you got to put money on somebody this offseason, those are the teams to put it on.
Yep.
And then we mentioned it already, but Alex Tuck gets traded for a third-round pick next year, and David Camp is going back to Buffalo as well. Um, it's a UFA contract basically that they're not going to sign, so get something for it. You did better than Tampa did for Darren Radish, so you got to like that.
Yeah.
And then the last one, oh no, there was another one today. We
Like
talked about the Garner Hathaway, and then Washington. Man, they are active.
they are.
Washington trades Hendricks, LaPierre to Pittsburgh for a third next year and a fifth the following year.
Yep.
LaPierre hasn't turned out to be the talent Washington thought he was going to be. He was a late first round pick several years ago. He's 24 now. Clearly isn't a part of their future. Pittsburgh has like no prospects because they keep going for it when they shouldn't. So it's a guy that can immediately go into this lineup if they need him to, which he probably should at 24. Your past prospect status now. I don't hate this for Pittsburgh. I like them at least taking a reclamation project and seeing if they can make something out of it.
Yeah, I agree.
And Washington, you're not going to use him. Get some picks. Again, it's ammo.
Yeah.
And I think that is the end of our trades.
Trades and signing.
Whew. That only took us about an hour. That's crazy. But we do want to talk draft. Yeah. And so we're not going to just straight go through draft prospects, talk about them. We are going to do a mock. So let's do a mock, and as we go through, we'll talk about some of these prospects, what we like, what we don't like, and I think we should do what we think will happen, not necessarily what we would do, because mine would look very different.
Yeah.
So go ahead and pull that up for me.
I'll pull it up. Should I like refresh it so we can make a new one as we go?
Sure.
All right, let me get it pulled up here. And I am missing some prospects, so we can just say their name and put them there, if that works for you.
Yep, we can do whatever we need to do.
All right. Yeah, is it pulling up there for you?
Yep, we can see it.
All right. So we've got.
So first up, Toronto, pick 1. He's not my number 1 player, but I think we all know what's happening here.
Yeah.
This is Gavin McKenna.
This is
100%. I don't think there's a question.
100%.
And then pick 2 is where it starts to get interesting right away.
Yeah.
And we are going to do this as if everything stays where it's at right now. Okay? I think San Jose has the potential to trade this pick. I don't know that they will now that they got pick 9 also.
I agree.
But, maybe someone blows them away and offers them a defenseman and some picks. Who knows? But I think now that they have pick 9, they don't have to force a defenseman here. If they didn't have pick 9, I think Chase Reed goes here. But with pick 9, I think Ivar Stenberg has to be your pick here. I think he's the best complete player in this draft.
I agree. There is a world where they get a trade going there. I don't know where it would be now. But it would have what's their GM's name? I'm blanking on him.
Mike Greer.
Yeah, Mike Greer. He came out the other day and he was saying we're open to trading it, but we want picks and compensation or a young player that can join our lineup now. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting.
I look at it. I really think the Blues are the only team that can make this happen.
Yep.
Because it sounded like Chicago tried to move up to 2, and there just wasn't anything there to make it work the way they wanted. So thank you, Mike Greer, for making Chicago do that. Makes us happy, but I think between pick 11, 15, 16, 29, and all the prospects the Blues have, like, there's definitely something that could happen there. So whether it's the Sharks or the Blues make a huge push to move up, Stenberg is going to be that pick.
Do you think there's a world where the Blues give 3 first-round picks in like Dalibor Dvorsky?
No.
No. Interesting.
I think there's a world where they give 3 first round picks. I don't think there's a world that they give Dvorsky along with 3. Now, if it's 2 and Dvorsky, maybe.
Okay.
Um, I know this will make a lot of Blues fans mad because Dvorsky's been the highest draft pick they've had since Petro.
Yep.
And they're like, this is the future 2C right behind Robert Thomas. I don't know that he'll ever be a high upside 2C.
Yeah.
I think he can be a low end 2C, high end 3C. I don't know that his skating and the high end talent is going to be good enough to be that 60 plus 70 point player.
I agree.
And I really like Dalibor Dvorsky. I think he does a lot of things well. I don't know that he'll ever be that. So I'm not opposed to moving him, especially now that you went and got um, McMichaels.
Yeah.
That can fill that 3C role or 2C, and Pew Suter can play the 3 for now, or vice versa. I don't really care. But I'm not giving up 3 first and Dvorsky. Now, if you want to do 11, 16, and Dvorsky, we can talk.
Yeah.
How picks in that even out, maybe, but it can't be 3 and Dvorsky.
Yeah.
It could be 2 and him or 3. And I think the third one has to be 29. Like if you want 11, 15, and 29, fine. I don't think you can go 11, 15, 16.
Yeah.
And if you do 3, that gets them to 5 first round picks.
Yeah.
So you have to think they're going to use those turnaround and acquire players.
Yeah. 100%.
So I think that's an interesting one. At 3, Vancouver. I think there was a debate until Stenberg goes off the board at 2.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a debate at 3 anymore. Yeah. Caleb Malhotra will be this pick. His dad's the coach. You can debate if Stenberg was there. Like, Stenberg's the better player. You have to take him. Yeah. And I still think they might have taken Malhotra even if Stenberg was there. But with him off the board, this is a no-brainer for me.
I agree.
And that's with me saying that. I personally don't have Malhotra as my number 1 center or number 2 center.
Yeah.
So I think there's upside there. I think it's going to take longer than people expect it to with him.
Yeah.
He did have a very good end of the season and kind of came on strong, but I do think there's definitely areas in his game. He's more of like a 70 offensive player, 30 defensive player, and you got to get that defense up if you're going to play center in the NHL.
Yeah.
Number 4, like we already said earlier, I don't think Buffalo makes this pick.
I agree.
But if they were, I look at Buffalo, and they've got plenty of lefty, so we're not worried about that. They do need righty, and they just lost their big power forward. So if there were a big winger, because, I mean, looking at their roster, you whenever we do this, you can't just look at their NHL roster. You have to look at the prospect pool itself because these players aren't immediately coming up. But if you look at players signed long term, you've got Josh Doan, so you've got a power forward there. You've got Tage Thompson. He's big, but he's not a power forward. He's more of a sniper. Zach Benson, not a big guy. Josh Norris, pretty big guy, can play that role. Ryan McLeod, not a big guy, whatever. Jack Quinn, Constantinius, Noah Oslin, Yuri Coolidge. There's not a lot of big there. Peyton Krebs is a little bit bigger if they keep him. But then if I'm looking at their defense, it is all left-handed, all of it. And if you look at their prospect pool, Anton Wahlberg, center forward prospect, is not bad. Um, and then on the right side, on defense, all you have is Radim Murka, who's going to be a big right-handed defenseman. He can skate, he can move, he can be physical. Offensive upside, we'll see. But I think this is a place where you can go right-handed upside offense. And I think you have the conversation between Chase Reed and Keaton Verhoff. Chase Reed seems to be everyone's number one overall defenseman in this draft. I personally like Keaton Verhoff more. But I think if Buffalo's in this point, they might be more inclined to take the puck mover here, and that would be Chase Reed.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
I think you could go D for sure. We've talked about it before the podcast as well of Vigo Bork. If they are going to go forward, I think that is who
I think
goes.
he's too small for them.
Yeah, I agree. So if they do go
I
forward,
just don't think.
Yeah, it could be him, or maybe you see like a Tynan Lawrence jump all the way to 4. It'd be a bit of a reach, I think.
That would be, yeah.
It'd be a reach, but I think this like 5 to 10 is going to be a lot of defensemen.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of high-end skilled forwards to go this early. Like, I think any forward you take. Now, I'm huge on Vigo Bjork. I don't think as many teams will be because he's 5'9", and he's a center at 5'9". Can he play wing? Yes. I think he can stick at center. So I think it would be hard for a team to take him in the top 5.
I agree. So I'll stick with your right D. I think Keaton Verhoff got a lot of hate, and we talked about this as well, for going to the NCAA and kind of having a mediocre year. So he could slide for sure, but he's extremely skilled. He's got good size. So I think you see a Keaton Verhoff here at number 4.
Okay, I like it. Like I said, I think it could be either. I'm higher on Verhoff than most people. I think a lot of people are down on him.
Yeah.
He's probably, for most people, pull up my D. I think most people probably have Chase Reed above him.
Yeah.
Carson Carroll's above him. And then maybe Albert Schmidt's above him.
Yeah.
So he's probably the number 4 for a lot of people. For me, my personal draft rankings, he's my number 1 defenseman.
Yeah. I think if I'm being 100% realistic, you probably see a Chase Reed go here. But I think Keaton Verhoff very well could.
I don't think it's absurd. I also look at Buffalo, and Owen Powers isn't a little guy. Rasmus Dahlin is not a little guy.
No.
Samuelson, not a little guy. Radim Murka, 6'6", big guy.
Yeah.
Do they need... Listen, Chase Reed's not small. He's like 6'2", 6'1", 6'2". Like, he's not little. But do they need somebody as a more transition two-way player than a... And I think Verhoff can be that. But Verhoff's also a 6'4". He's got that bigger reach. He's more defensive than Chase Reed. Maybe doesn't have quite as much offensive upside as Reed. Do you think... I think this is where you have to have that conversation. Like, if they're in that same tier for you, which one fits your need better in the future? Because you do have a lot of big guys already.
Yeah.
I personally like Verhoff. I think Buffalo probably goes with Reed if this happens.
I'd agree with you. It's so hard to choose here because never did I think Buffalo would have this pick.
No.
And
this was an easy...
Yeah.
Whoever takes this is taking Chase Reed at 4, whether it's Chicago, whether,
Yeah.
It's... I mean, listen, I think this could be a spot where Matthew Nyes is moved for this pick somehow, and Toronto takes Chase Reed here.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
We'll take him. I think Chase Reed will be at 4 no matter what team. Like, these are the top 4 consensus. Like, this is the tier, it seems like, from most scouts, is that these will be the first 4 to go. Just depends on the order.
Yeah.
Um, and then it starts to get a little more wide open with the Rangers. The Rangers need center, but I think the Rangers are in for a rebuild soon. Like,
Yeah.
this team is poorly constructed.
It's bad.
Um, I mean, I think they need defense as well. You just traded away Keishon Aitchison. Um, oh my gosh, blanking on his name. I just gave him props in the last episode with Carolina, Keandre Miller.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just traded Keandre Miller. The D needs work. So I think you can go one of two ways. You take one of these defensemen, or again, you have to be very confident that Vigo Bjork is a center and can stick there.
Yeah.
My problem is the tendencies of the Rangers is to draft big physical players.
Yep.
And I don't think they will want Vigo Bjork.
I agree. I agree. I think they go D-man here as well, or they, again, reach.
And take Tynan Lawrence.
Yeah.
Or an Ethan Belchetz or someone big like that. I think they'll take D because I think it just makes too much sense here. You need D. You like big physical players. I think there's a big physical defenseman who likes to throw his body around. People have him a little higher than I do, and I think this is the perfect spot for Carson Carroll's.
I agree. I agree. And like we said before, Verhoff could go here, Smits could go here, but it's kind of a toss up. They all have different fits for each team.
Yeah, and one thing I will say whenever we're doing this is one of the things that I heard at the draft combine was some scouts and teams did not like Albert Schmidt's
Yeah.
interviews, that he kind of came off a little cocky, which one, he's Latvian. Like, have you never met Eastern Europeans? Like, they all kind of come off that way. Sorry. But two, this is a kid who's played World Juniors for Latvia, World Cup for Latvia, Olympic or World Cup, World Championships, and he played on the Olympic team, I believe,
Yeah, he
for
did.
Latvia. So, Mike, you're talking about an 18-year-old who has played at the highest level against grown men, and he's played in multiple grown men league. He finished out in the DEL in Germany against grown men. Like, he should be a little bit, I won't say cocky, but like, he should be confident. And
Yeah.
if you think confidence comes off as arrogant and cocky, like, I think there's a big difference there. But when I look at this team, man, you've got Gavrikov on the left side signed long term. You've got Fox for a few more years on the right. You've got Will Borgen on the right. And after that, like, there's some maybe interesting pieces there on the defensive side, but like nothing that's set in stone. So I think if you can go out and get somebody that you think is going to be a top four left-handed defenseman to solidify that's going to be big and physical, you go do that. I think Carson Carroll's, I don't think his upside on offense is quite as high as a lot of people do. I think we talked about this before. When you watch Canada at like the World Juniors, they struggle because of their defensive system and how they play. Like, their defensemen aren't about carrying the puck and transitioning it. They get the puck and they throw it off the boards that are off the wall to get it out of the zone. And I don't think that's feasible in the NHL. So I have worries about some of these Canadian defensemen in the transition and some of that offensive upside, because you're playing with some of the best young players in the world. Like, those offensive numbers and the assist totals are going to go up playing with them. So I think Carson Carroll's is good. I like him. I think he is going to be a top four defenseman. I don't necessarily think as highly of him as everyone else, but I think he's going to be a top four defenseman.
Yeah.
And again, the Rangers need a lot. Then brings us to Calgary, and they are a headache. Like we just talked about. I think Carson Carroll's was the perfect fit for Calgary. That's who I think they should have got, because we talked about they have Kevin Ball on the left and they have two young right-handed D that don't play
Yeah.
defense. So you need that. So when I look at them, I think Albert Schmeitz could be a possibility. I think, though, this is a team that could take a chance on Vigo Bjork. I
Yep.
think this is where his actual possibility starts here. I think there's potential he could fall out of the top 10 because of his size, because we know what the NHL thinks about size.
Yeah.
So, what do you think here? I'm just going to go through their prospects real quick to make sure I
Yeah.
didn't miss
So
anything.
this is another one where they were
Gosh, their
competitive
prospects
like
suck.
3 years ago ish, and I don't think their pool is that great. I could be
It's
completely wrong.
bad.
Yeah,
It is bad.
and now that they have those two defensemen, Perek and Nemec, will they pick another defenseman? And
They
I don't
probably
know.
should.
Yeah, they probably should, but when you look at forwards that are still around here, you've got Belchez, Bjork, and Tynan Lawrence. Really, I could feel not as bad going in the top 10. Belchez probably
Yep.
the biggest reach there, in my opinion. So do they go for the bigger center or do they go for the guy that could be a center? I think you could see a Tynan Lawrence here for sure. Definitely a Vigo Bork.
Here's the thing. I love Tynan Lawrence. Full disclosure, he's my number 3 prospect. I love Tynan Lawrence. There's a lot of NHL teams who do not like Tynan Lawrence. Like, there's a real possibility he's sitting there at 15.
Yeah.
That's my concern. He got bashed by scouts, it seems like, at the combine for leaving the USHL halfway through and going to play in college and not just putting up stupid numbers. I don't have that issue because, again, you're 17 years old going to a completely new NCAA program
Yeah.
from the USHL and get put on. You're on a great team at Boston, and you get put on one of those top 2 lines, and you're expected to produce huge numbers at 17. Like, that's not what I'm expecting from him. So I like him more, but there was a lot of scouts bashing him at the combine.
Yep.
So my only concern is if we're doing a what will happen, I absolutely think this is a possibility of what they should do. But who are the teams that actually like Tynan Lawrence is the real question.
Yep.
So for me, I look at what they have. Young forwards, Coronado, Farabee kind of, Frost not really young anymore. Zari, they're looking to move. Matt Vegradine, Samuel Hanzik. Like, you've got some big physical guys in those two. Like,
Yeah.
I think this is a team that could take a chance on a smaller skill guy. And I think what Vigo Bjork has done at the World Championships and playing with men in the SHL, like, for those of you who haven't watched him, this is a guy who's put up the best numbers in the SHL, which is the top Swedish elite league for men, since the Sedin twins.
Yeah.
Actually, that's Stenberg. But Bjork's right up there.
Right behind.
Bjork's right up there, and he's played with men. And honestly, at the World Championships, I thought he was better than Stenberg on that Swedish team. I thought he was better than Anton Frundell, who was the 3rd overall pick to the Blackhawks last year on that Swedish team. I think he's answered a lot of questions, which is why I think it was good for him to go there, because I think that keeps him in the top 10, and I think this is the perfect team to take a chance on.
Yeah.
Sadly, I would love for him to make it to 11 to St. Louis. Seattle. This is a team we do not like because of their decision making. They need a high upside offensive player. They're not there. Seattle also has never picked a defenseman in the first round. I think this is the year they have to.
Yeah.
Because there's not that elite upside offense. Like, if you take one of these forwards here, you're putting a lot of wish and pixie dust on it to turn into something that's a top line forward.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a ton of top line forwards in this draft outside of like 2 or 3. So I think this is where Seattle finally takes a defenseman in the first round. And if I'm looking at their defense, what prospects do they have?
What, they got like Berkeley Patton.
Ty Nelson, Lucas Dravisevich, Hayden Price. Like, it's not pretty. Riker Lee's there now, and he's young, and I like him. I think they could go either side. Ty Nelson is more of a small offensive right-handed defenseman. I think of him more as a 3D type of guy that can run the power play.
Yeah.
I think they could take either of those two big ones left. In my mock that I did, I took Albert Schmeitz, but I can definitely see the Keaton Verhoff fit here too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you make this decision because I think that there's no wrong choice here. I think both are great.
Is Braden Montour a righty or a lefty?
Braden Montour he's a righty.
Is Vince Dunn also a righty?
No, Vince Dunn's a lefty, and he's a UFA after this year.
Okay.
The only ones I'm really concerned about, Montour is signed for 5 more years, so you do have to think about that. But Ryan Lindgren is 3 more years, and he's a lefty. Riker Evans 1 more year before before RFA, and he's a lefty. So where I look at it, I see Vince Dunn if they re-sign him on the left side. Ryan Lindgren on the left side for at least a couple years. Riker Lee on the left side. Now that I'm looking at this, I might lean more towards Keith Verhoff.
I agree. I don't think he's gonna fall past 7 or 8. He was like last year. He was being touted as the top 3 pick, and because of the kind of poor year in the NCAA, he's fallen a bit. So I do think,
and we say that poor year. It wasn't a poor year.
No, he just
didn't put up insane points like people thought he was going to do. And this is the thing that I look at now. With all of these CHL players able to go over to the NCAA, you're taking the best players out of those leagues. So one thing I'd like to say is I don't look as much at point totals of the college or the Canadian hockey players. So if you're in the O, the Q, or the dub, I don't care about point totals quite as much because there's not a lot of good defense. There's not good goaltending. So your point totals should be high. But I also look at it as these are 17-year-old kids coming over here to play in the NCAA now. So high school juniors, you got to think about that. They were playing against some of them 22-year-olds.
Yeah.
So there's a very big gap and a learning curve here. And honestly, outside of the Wisconsin game, Keaton Verhoff was good. He gained confidence throughout the season.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw a name out there, and it's going to seem ridiculous to people of who I think a comparison is. But with the traits that he has, the size, the skill, the defensive capabilities, he gives me Alex Pietrangelo vibes. And people will be like, you're comparing him to Petro? Yes, I am. Those are the vibes I get. It wasn't this hugely offensively massive upside player, but he was really good at everything. And he played a great defensive game. And I think that's what you're getting with Verhoff. I think if Verhoff's skating gets slightly better and his confidence goes up a little bit, I think this is a top pairing potential defenseman from the right-handed side.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on to an interesting one.
Winnipeg. Okay, this is one I want to talk about. I put a player here in my mock that I do not like.
All right,
and it's not because it's Winnipeg. It's because I think with everything, this is the conversation needs to happen. With everything that has happened recently with American players looking to get out of Canada, and Winnipeg being the team that has the hardest time attracting and keeping players because of where they are located, I think this pick is very important. I think every pick and every player Winnipeg takes, they have to have a real conversation. Is this a player we can keep long term that will re sign with us? So I think it says Winnipeg needs lefty and center. I think center is an important one,
Yeah.
but I think defense in general is important. So I'll tell you who I gave them because I think this player is somebody that they will like because of the offensive upside. But I
Yeah.
think this is also a player from that general area that they would feel confident that they could keep long term.
Yeah.
And this is my least favorite highly rated player. I don't have him with a first round grade, and that's Daxon Rudolph.
Yeah.
I don't like Daxon Rudolph. I will be the first to say it. Everyone talks about how offensively gifted he is and how he can be a really good skater. And I don't disagree with some of those things. My problem is he plays zero defense.
Yeah.
And not only does he not play defense, he doesn't look interested in playing defense. When he's skating in the defensive zone, he's like locked legs, no bend of the knee, doesn't look like he's using an active stick. Like, it's bad.
Yeah.
And
See,
so I don't like him personally. I would not. He's on my do not draft list in the first round. Um, but we're talking about Winnipeg needing to take players that potentially they could take long term.
I could see that happening. You said he's from around there.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that happening, but do you think they pass up on Smits?
If they don't think they can keep him,
That's interesting because that could be an issue with them because if he is cocky and arrogant, he could want his way out.
and I'm just looking at their defensive prospects here. One, their list is very short of
Yeah.
who they actually have in the system. Like Alphonse Frey is one of the few, and Sasha Bamudian, and that's it. Like there's like three other guys, but they're all like 24 to 28, and if
Yeah.
they're not on the team now, like they're not doing anything. So I have big concerns, and if I look at their offense, like they've got Braden Yeager, they've got Kevin Ye, they've got Colby Barlow, they've got Danny Zilkin. Um, Rasmus Kapari, Samuel Fagemo is getting old. Jared Anderson Dolan's getting a little old. But, like, you've got some forward prospects here. So I
Yeah.
think this needs to be a D almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I personally, if this was my choice, I'm saying I don't care. I'm taking Albert Schmeitz because I think he's like my number 3 or 4 defenseman. I really like him. But if they're worried about signing him, will they do it? Or do they just say, we don't care, we're taking the best player, whatever happens, happens?
Yeah. I feel like at 8, you're kind of rounding off the top talent, 8 to 10 there. And you
Scroll
could
down in your top 50 there real quick. I just want to see who they have next.
Oh, it's bad.
Belchetz, Rudolph. Okay. So they have Rudolph at 9. So, like, this isn't a reach.
No.
For most scouts.
No, I agree. I think
and on their right side, man.
Is it bad?
Their right side, they've got Neil Pionk, but then Dylan DeMello, who's 33.
Yeah.
Elias Salamonson, and then every other one's left-handed. Ville Heinola, probably going to be there, left-handed. Jacob Ryerson, left-handed. Hayden Fleury, left-handed. Dylan Sandberg, left-handed. Josh Morrissey, left-handed. So that's just my thoughts. I'm not going to force you to take anyone here, but like, I worry about them signing people, and I worry about what they have on the right side more than I do the left side.
We're going to make things interesting and take Smits here.
Okay. I like it. I personally would do this.
Yeah. It comes down to it. It's who knows? We're starting to get to the point where it's
in Seattle, if they don't take Keaton Verhoff, like,
oh yeah,
that's a slam dunk pick for them.
Yeah,
I don't know
100%.
where Verhoff is from, but or where in Canada.
United States, apparently.
No, he's
Oh,
Canadian.
wait, no, he played in the U.S. Yeah,
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. All right. Sharks, 9th overall.
This became more interesting because
Yeah,
I had them taking Albert Schmeetz.
that's why I wanted to make it interesting here. Say
Yeah.
Jackson Rudolph is the guy there, or you have to reach for maybe a Ryan Lynn, because their whole plan was to go, or at least we think is 2, you get Stenberg, and then at 9 you pick a solid D-man because you hope one will still be there.
Yes.
So
and you're taking a defenseman here.
You almost have to. You almost have to.
Now, what do their prospects look like?
And maybe this could be a real life scenario. Maybe if it gets to this point and there isn't a D-man they like left, or would take at 9, they trade down a little bit. Always a possibility, but
okay. So I think this is an easy choice looking at it now. Their young defenseman, Sam Dickinson, left-handed.
Yep.
Matthias Havlid, left-handed. Actually. See? No, he's right-handed. He's young, though. He's 22. Luca Cagnoni, left-handed.
Yeah.
Mario Ferraro, if they re-sign him, left-handed. Michael Kesselring's right-handed, so there's one of your righties. Shakir Mukhamadullin, who they seem to really like, left-handed. Prospects. D. Nolan Allen, left-handed. Leo Saliolinis, left-handed. Like, it just keeps coming back more and more lefties.
Yeah.
What is Wang? Also a lefty that they drafted last year. I think you have to take the right-handed defenseman here.
Yep. I think Rudolph goes
just
here.
From a prospect pool standpoint.
Yep.
Which I love, because I want him nowhere near St. Louis picks.
Yeah. Because if he is, I have a feeling he'll end up here.
No, don't say it. We get to St. Louis's first of their 4 picks. It says that... Oh, no, we're at Nashville.
Nashville.
Okay, Nashville. I can see them doing...
Lots of things
one of 3 things.
Yeah.
One of a couple of things. I can see them needing defensemen.
Yeah.
And I love Malte Gustafsson. He is my number 2 defenseman in this draft. Love him. Clearly, people don't love him.
Yeah, this
doesn't love him. Yeah, the NHL does like him.
The rankings are so I'll have to start.
Malte Gustafsson is he is the best, I'll say it, he is the best pure defender in this draft. He's 6'4", super fast, great on his edges, physical, and plays amazing defense. The question is, how much of his offense is going to translate? I think he's a good puck mover. He can be a little bit of a playmaker. I don't think he's going to score a bunch of goals for you, but he is smooth and an excellent defender. I love him. He is one of my man crushes in this draft.
Yeah.
Love him, along with Viggo Bjork. So Malte Gustafsson, I think, is an option here.
Yeah.
They need center. Tynan Lawrence
is right there.
Could be an option here. The things I know about Nashville, though they just traded Vader Svechkov and Zachary Leroux, they like to draft big physical forwards.
Yep.
There are a couple of big physical forwards on this board. Tynan Lawrence can be that. Ethan Belchetz, 6'5", 240. He's a big boy. And Oscar Hemming, who's also a big boy and was the youngest player in college hockey, either at the end or most of the way through the season.
Yeah.
Playing at BC. So I think you have some options here, and I don't think there's a bad choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is where I think, actually, before Dax and Rudolph, I think this is where the next tier starts for most people. You kind of have the top 4, and then you have that defensive group with Viggo Bjork in there, and then you have a big group here. I think this is Gustafson, Belchetz, Hemming, Lawrence. I think those are your four. Let me give you a quick peek into what they have. Young players wise, Luke Evangelista, winger, Brady Martin. They took last year, center.
Yeah.
Matthew Wood, big physical winger. Reed Schaefer, winger. Joaquin Kamel. There's your goal scoring threat on the wing. Defense, Ryan Ufko, Justin Barron, Aiden Fink at forward prospect, David Enstrom center prospect.
Yep.
Defense. Here's the interesting thing. Your defensive prospects are pretty much all left-handed, but this is the one where I'm like, does this make a difference? They have a left-handed defensive prospect named Viggo Gustafsson, who just happens to be the older brother of Malte Gustafsson. So, do they take the brothers, even though all of their defensive prospects, including Viggo Gustafsson, is left-handed? Or do they go chase a forward? They are very old at forward.
Yeah, I'm locked in on a forward here, I think.
Okay. My guess is you want to take Tynan Lawrence.
Yep, that's mine. And I think in almost every draft I've done that he's going 10th to Nashville. So I would say they fit he fits what Nashville usually goes with. So
they also have Jaeger Soren, Teddy Stiga and Riker Lee at forward. I believe those are all wingers.
Yeah, their center depth is in prospect pool is kind of poor. I think they go for the center.
All right. There goes one of my favorite players in this draft, right before the Blues, who I think could use a center.
Yes.
I think this decision just became easy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. As a Blues fan, I will tell you, as someone who loves the draft and scouts everything, I think the Blues' needs are center depth in the prospect pool and right-handed defensemen or just top-tiering defensemen.
Yeah.
I think they need right-handed depth. They have a lot of left-handed defensemen. I don't see any of them as being top-pair guys. I already told you my man crush on Malte Gustafsson. Yeah. I think if he's there, you have to take him.
I agree. It's either him or I think the first pick is going to be a defenseman for the Blues this year, assuming they make it. I think it's him or Ryan Lynn.
Oh, no. Let's hope Malte Gustafsson is here then. I'm taking Malte Gustafsson.
I agree.
Executive decision.
Yeah.
New Jersey. I think this is very easy. They need big physical wingers. I think you have two options here. It is either Ethan Belchetz or Oscar Hemming.
I think Belchetz goes here.
That's who I have.
Yeah. It fits pretty well.
I like it.
Yeah. We'll go with that. New Jersey's in a very weird spot.
I think Belchetz is closer to being able to play, and they will like that. Also, if you could put like a Belchetz with Jack Hughes or Nico Hischier and just give him some big size next to him, they would love that.
100%.
Like the whole Timo Meier, like they had that, and they should have kept it.
Yeah.
So I think they would love to do that. The New York Islanders.
This is
they got their big stud last year on the left side with Matthew Schaefer. Their forward depth is kind of old, but they do have some guys that they've traded for recently. You've got a Callum Ritchie at center, can play the wing. You've got Emil Heineman, who plays the wing. Defense, you've got Alexander Romanov, who's still young. Matthew Schaefer on the left side. Adam Boquist is whatever. I don't count him. And then your D prospects, you've got Cole Iserman on the wing. You've got Victor Eklund on the wing. Who am I missing? That's kind of it. Defense, I don't love. I think they need a defenseman. Oh, they also have Danny Nelson at forward. And Luca Romano. So I think they need to take a defenseman.
I agree. And this is where the drop.
Or center. And center, there's not good center depth in this draft.
Suvanto
and I think they go later. Yeah. I don't think it's worth a top 15.
We were talking about him before the podcast. Do you think a Villeneuve could go here?
I don't. I think he's a late first, middle of the second, because here's my thing. We'll talk about Xavier Villeneuve. I love what he brings. He has elite skills.
Yep.
They are more offensive. I think his defense is a little underrated. He is a little guy. He skates exceptionally well. Like, if you want someone who is, I told you this, I think of him as Lane Hudson. Like, that is the type of talent he has, of walking the line, the skating, the balls to just try whatever it takes in the offensive zone, and he can do it. Now, the problem with him is he can get overconfident, and he can do too much. Defensively, I think there's work to do still, but he tries on the defensive side, and that's something that I can't say about Daxon Rudolph, who I think Xavier Villeneuve has much, much higher offensive ceiling than Daxon Rudolph. So I like him a lot. I don't think he's going to go in the top 20.
Okay.
But if the Blues go forward with 11-15, I'm not opposed to them taking him at 16.
Yeah.
So for me, I think they need a defenseman more than anything. So this is where you have to start talking Ryan Lynn.
Yeah. In my original mock, I had Lynn going here at 13.
That's what I have, is Ryan Lynn going here. So, I just think this is going to be defense. This is a team that for years has needed offense, and that seems like all they've done recently is draft offense. So
yeah.
Outside of Matthew Schaefer first overall, but I see this being the perfect Ryan Lynn spot.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Ryan Lynn. I think he's small, but I think he does everything well, but nothing elite.
Yeah.
He's got to get bigger. He's like $165. He just gets pushed around. He tries to play the right way. He has good positioning. He tries to box out. He tries to get leverage, but he's just so small that he just gets pushed out of those spots. So if he can bulk up, I like what Ryan Lynn brings.
Yeah. Blue Jackets.
Oh, Columbus.
And fair warning, once we get in here to the 14 to 20, I believe I am missing Command and and what was the other guy's name that I believe I was missing? Tommy Bleel,
yeah.
Blyle.
They will both be first round picks, so
yes.
we'll give them some rando.
Yeah.
But we'll know who they are.
Yeah.
Columbus. This is an interesting one. I think they can go a variety of ways. They have some young wingers. They are probably moving Kent Johnson.
Yep. Marchenko's been heating up as well. I've been scrolling Twitter here.
But you have center depth here. You've got Fantilli. You've got Cole Sillinger. You just signed Charlie Coyle to 6 years, which I don't like because he's already 34.
Yeah.
Defensively, Werenski's getting talked about being moved. I just don't think there's a defenseman you reach on here. You've got Denton Mateychuk, who you think is going to be that person.
Yeah.
Man, their forward prospects are not great. Neither is their defense. I don't like their prospect pool. You've got Jackson Smith, who you drafted in the first round last year, left-handed puck-moving defenseman. You've got Caden Lindstrom still, who you just pray his back gets better because that was a top 5 pick for you. I think you got to take forward here.
Yep.
I don't think there's a D worth. You're going to see a run of forwards happen here for a little while. I think they can go pretty much anywhere. I think center, they've got a couple of young centers. Even Luca Del Babalu, however you say it, Luca Pinelli. Luca Pinelli is also a center, so I think you go winger here. And it just depends what kind of winger do you want.
Yeah.
But this is a team that seems to like big and gritty.
Yep.
Right? Fantilli isn't a little guy. Sillinger, not a little guy. You've got a Mason Marchment. Your captain was Boone Jenner. Miles Wood. Matthew Olivier. Even like Voronkov and Marchenko aren't little guys. Monahan, not a little guy. Connor Garland's really your only small guy. Charlie Coyle, big guy. So maybe like they like the big guys, but maybe that's the problem is they have too many. Maybe we go more offensive upside here, shooter mentality. I think there's a few options.
Novotny.
Right? I'm higher on Novotny than most people. I think when you start to look at the forwards, specifically the wingers, I think the biggest riser in this draft class, and I'm honestly kind of surprised he hasn't gone yet, is Wyatt Cullen. I think he's going to be the best U.S. player coming out of here.
Yeah.
Wyatt Cullen, I like a lot. If you're going pure offensive upside, Novotny is not small. He has skill. He's more of that power forward, though. So, like, do you want another one of those? Elton Hermansen is interesting. I don't think Nicholas Aram Olsen goes this early. Same with JP Hurlburt. Like, you start to look at some of these guys, and if you want pure skill upside, I like Mathis Preston a lot, but I think he'll go in the very late end of the first round. Who's basically pure offense and shot. Same kind of with the JP Hurlburt, who's really small.
Speaking of Columbus, Elliot Freemanbaum, Valerie Nichushkin is being traded to Columbus.
Oh, there you go. Another physical player.
Yep.
So, breaking news on the pod. We'll see what the return is, hopefully soon. Dang, 24 seconds ago. Way to be on it.
Yeah, I've got a phone sitting right on Twitter.
I think you go more skill here. I like Wyatt Cullen.
Mm-hmm.
I think he gives
on the other website, I have him going right here at 14. And
this is who I have here.
I think they could go the Hemingway or maybe even a Suvanto or something like that, but I think Wyatt Cullen is probably the guy who goes here.
Yeah, I just think at some point, like, you can like big, physical, two-way forward type of guys, but at some point you got to get some skill in there too. And I think they have a lot of the big and physical, and they need to get a little more skill. And this is a guy, so Wyatt Cullen, when he joined US NDDP, he was 5'5". And was still playing with the top team. He's now 6'1", but still plays like he's a little guy.
Yep.
So he's got all the skill in the world that you need and brings that offensive upside. I think he's a perfect fit for someone like Columbus. And he's an American. So, you know, if you're getting an American in Columbus, like, there's a good fit there.
Yeah. All right. Blues.
Gosh, I forgot we have 4 picks. This is where it gets interesting because the Blues can go a lot of ways. It depends on how you want to go about this.
Yep.
For me, what did I have them take? So I think the Blues have to come away with a center prospect, whether it's this pick, whether it's the next pick, whether it's at 29. I think they need to get a center prospect.
Yeah.
And I personally have 3 center prospects I'm willing to take still. Not necessarily in love with any of them here.
Mm-hmm.
So man, this is tough because I want them to get Wyatt. I wanted them to get Tynan Lawrence at 11
Yeah.
because it makes this easier. Um,
You've
I
got to.
personally, so if I look at my rankings, I personally, of what is left, my best available players, pure upside, I like Mathis Preston, but again, he's not going to get picked this early.
Yeah.
I love Adam Novotny. He's one of my guys.
Mm-hmm.
I like Xavier Villeneuve. I like Elton Hermansen. And it's interesting because my 3 centers that I have left in my rankings are 17, 18, and 19. And I think they're interchangeable. You're talking Oliver Savanto, you're talking Alexander Command, and you're talking Ilya Morozov. I personally see all of them as 3Cs in the future. Now, what kind of center do you want? Ilya Morozov's, none of them are small.
Yeah.
Ilya Morozov is Russian, but he also has, I think, U.S. Dual citizenship. He's already over here. He's playing in the NCAA at Miami, Ohio. He is a Energizer bunny. He's nonstop. He's a bull in the china shop. He just physical. Will there ever be enough offense to be a 2C? I don't know, but this is a 3C penalty killer all day, every day.
Yeah.
Oliver Savanto, I think, might have the most upside potentially. He's already 6'3". He already plays a really, really good two-way game.
Yeah.
Again, what kind of offense is there? I think he's a front of the net presence. I think he's a tap in close type of grimy goal guy. I don't necessarily see a ton more offense than that. And then Alexander Command, I think, is interesting. He's the Swede here, so keep that in mind. We have a Russian, a Finn, and a Swede. And Alexander Steen just took over, Swede, who's been a European scout. And looking at what we've drafted recently, that might be the place. Some people see Command as a 3C. Some think that he has potential to be up to a 2C. I don't necessarily see that. So I think this is one where you kind of just take your pick of one of those 3.
Yeah.
And but after that, like looking at that second pick, whether it's here or the next one as your center, I think you have to start looking at Adam Novotny, Elton Hermansen, Oscar Hemming, Nikita Klepov. I really like all of them.
In my mock, I have Novotny at 15 and Command at 16.
And it's funny because I have done several mocks based on the changes. And in my latest one, I did Novotny and Villeneuve because I took Lawrence at 11.
Yeah.
And before I had that, I had Gustafsson at 11, like we had.
Yeah.
So I had them taking Command at 15 before we had that 16th pick.
Yeah.
And I have Ilya Morozov as at 18 in mind. So they're all right there. I actually have Savanto going later than the rest of them. But I don't know. So pick your poison. What kind of center do you want? What do you think Alex Steen will do? Because technically Steen is not the GM yet. Doug Armstrong is still the GM until July 1. But he's basically said the draft is Steen's. This is his future. I'm not going to take the picks for him.
Yeah.
So
I like Command's year better than Suvanto's. And him just being Swedish and having a really sweet hockey name. I think he goes 15 just because Steen he might not be the GM, but he does have say.
And I will say one good thing about Alexander Command. Here's my scouting report of him. Good on the dot. You can't say that about a lot of centers.
Yeah.
especially young centers. High effort, plays physical, likes to skate with the puck, solid two-way. His shot's okay, but he has a slow release. He's not the fastest skater,
Yeah.
but he does a lot of good things.
So I have Command and then Novotny in mine.
And I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm all day Kaman Novotny.
Command's one of the guys I do not have for some reason.
Put,
Let's
put William LaPierre. I don't even think that's a real player.
Yeah, I've never heard of them. And so that's Command, and then Novotny I do have.
Oh, he is a real player. And okay, Adam Novotny is one of my favorites. A lot of people will have him late teens, early 20s potentially. He's one of my favorite players. I remember watching World Juniors and going, who is this Novotny dude? He is all over every chance Czechia has.
Yeah.
He didn't produce high numbers. Very bad puck luck. Got robbed a lot. But anytime Czechia was doing anything, Adam Novotny was in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who's 6'1 and a quarter, 205. So not a small guy. Plays kind of like a power forward. Pretty physical. But he might be the fastest player in this draft.
Yeah.
So you're getting speed, power. I love it.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love Adam Novotny here.
And before we start our second half, the return for Nichushkin has come.
Oh, what is it?
Second round pick, third round pick, and a fifth round pick.
Interesting.
26 for the second, 27 for the third, and 28 for the fifth.
I mean, Colorado needs to reload some prospects with their draft picks because they've traded them all away. It's interesting. Valeri Nichushkin plays not an elite style, but he plays a winning style of hockey, so I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I think it's solid for both teams.
Columbus acquires the junkie.
I forgot about that. He's better now.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a break. All right, let's go into this second round. We'll speed it up a little bit.
Because this could genuinely start to be anybody.
Yeah. So this is where it starts to get like that, like we said. At 17, the LA Kings, I think they need to take one of those other centers here.
I think Suvanto goes here.
All right, Oliver Suvanto it is. They do like big centers.
Yes, they do.
Washington, their only first-round pick now.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I know about Washington is they have no issue taking Russian players.
Yep.
It has worked out well for them.
Morozov.
This is my Ilya Morozov pick.
Yep.
Love him.
Let's see who I put here in my other one. I have Oscar Hemming in my other one, but...
Listen, Oscar Hemming is falling in this, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Where do I have Hemming in my latest mock?
I have him at 18.
Did I forget him? I might have forgot him. So what happens when you're doing it last minute?
Yeah.
With all the trades that happen. I think I missed him. I'll keep that in mind. I have to redo this one anyway when more trades happen. No, Hemming will be a first-round pick, no question. Next up, we have the Utah Mammoth.
Let's go with... I think he's got to get drafted now, right? Hemming. Maybe not. They don't really need a winger.
I think they need defense.
Yeah.
Like, they've got a lot of young forwards.
Yeah.
Like, between Boot and Gunther and Keller and Peterka, Cooley can play center. He can play wing. Caleb Desnoyers at center.
Yeah.
Like, TJ Ginla at the wing. Cole Baudouin at center. Like, I think this has to be a defenseman.
Yeah. Do you think this could be Bleal?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's who I have here. I think this is a spot for Tommy Bleal.
Which
they have Sergachev on the left. They have Uyghur on the left. They have Dmitry Shimashev, who's 21, on the left. They have a big righty in Maverick Lamoureux on the right. I think this is a perfect spot for a smaller, puck moving, really good all around
Yeah.
defenseman.
And that's one of the guys that I think the only other one that I don't have on this list.
Yeah, give him Charlie Morrison. I've never heard of him either.
Yeah. So he can be him because he's a defenseman. That is Tommy Blell, whatever it is.
Yep. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
If he gets stronger, he has super high upside.
Yeah.
He's kind of a Ryan Lynn for me if he can get a little stronger. I think he's a better skater than Ryan Lynn.
Yeah.
More offense.
Buffalo at 20.
Who did we give him at 4?
We gave them a defenseman, I believe. Chase Reed.
Chase Reed. All right. I think you can go forward then.
Yep.
And what better to give them a power forward since they just lost Tuck?
Yeah.
This is Oscar Hemming.
Yep.
This is a great fit for him. I originally had them taking another power forward type of player here in my draft, so this fits even better.
Yep.
If you get Chase Reed and Oscar Hemming, good job, Buffalo.
Yes.
That's a heck of a draft.
That is.
All right, Philly. Things we know about Philly. They love big, mean players.
Yep.
I think this is going to be a reach for me, but I think they need defensemen, and I think there is a big, physical, ginormous defenseman in this draft they could take. I don't know if he's on your list.
Hank Hansen?
No.
What's his name?
I like William Hawkinson. He's fine. I like Nikita Sherbakov. He's fine. They don't have issues with Russians, but I think they want bigger and meaner.
Yeah. What's his name?
Maxim Sokolovsky.
Not there.
Okay. Maxim Sokolovsky is a player in the playoffs. He went head-to-head with Brady Martin and just followed him around and pissed him off the entire playoffs.
Yeah.
It was just a battle between those two. He is 6'7" or 6'8".
Yeah.
Just a giant. He skates pretty well. He's pretty decent defensively. He's got a huge stick, so great on the stick check.
Yeah.
My only problem with him, this is a pure defensive defenseman. You're not getting offense from him.
No.
But my issue with him is he can be so focused on the physicality that he can start chasing players. But this is a guy that is the biggest, meanest physical player in this draft. And if he locks onto you, he doesn't just hit you. He puts you through the wall and through the ice.
Yeah.
And I think that is the epitome of everything Philadelphia. So I think this is a guy that probably shouldn't go first round, probably early second. But I think with the lack of high-end defensemen now, this is where we're going to start seeing some of those guys be reached for. And I don't think there's a better fit for Philly than the meanest, nastiest big defenseman in the draft.
All right. We're going to give him Linus Feldberg or Leonard's Feldbergs because
some goalie I've never heard of.
There we go. He was the Latvian goalie who
he was the Latvian goalie. You're right.
Yeah. Penguin
22 Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh needs centers.
Yeah.
In their future. I don't know if Ben Kindle stays there long term.
Mm-hmm. JP.
No.
You think a Ruck brother goes here?
No. The Ruck brothers have to go together. Yeah. Someone is going to take them together, and I know where it's going to happen. Just be patient. I originally had them taking Oliver Savanto. Obviously, he's not there now.
Yeah.
I don't think Brian Rubrick is a first-round pick with his laziness. All the talent in the world, but man, is he lazy.
Mm-hmm. Hextall?
It could be a Jack Hextall. I think he's a second-round pick, talent-wise. I think he'll go in the first. I think this is one of the spots you could see him. What? Do they have a lot of physicality? I don't think they have a lot of big. I'm going to say there's a player here that is probably listed as a center. I think he's a wing eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I like Maddox Dagenet. I had him going 20 to Buffalo.
How do you spell that?
Maddox, Maddox.
Don't have Maddox.
Okay, so Maddox Deschanel is a big physical player who's at center. I think he's ultimately a winger in the NHL. Someone's going to try him there. But he's that same kind of bulldog physical mentality. And whether he's a center or a wing, like that's somebody with Ben Kindle being as small as he is, you kind of got to insulate him a little bit. So I think they could use a big physical center or winger to play alongside of him.
Yeah.
So Maddox Deschanel, like I said, in my mock, I have him going 20 to Buffalo because I forgot Oscar Hedman. But if I didn't, and Savanto's not there, I kind of like it.
All right.
It's either him or Hextall.
Yeah, we'll make him the other goalie.
Okay. Which Tobias Treball could be the first goalie taken in this draft.
Okay.
He'll be 1 or 2.
Yeah. Bruins, I think, take a D. I could be wrong.
Do you? Okay. I don't have them taking a D in mind, but that doesn't mean that they can't. Let me pull up their stuff real quick. They are a team that, what do they have that's young? Not a lot. James Higgins at center.
Yep.
Lucas Reichel, I don't think he's ever going to be amazing. Fraser Minton at center. Marat Kustanitsov, I can't ever say his name. It's a wing. Defense, you have Mason Lohrei, that's young. Other forwards. Fabian Lysell, we've been hearing about for years. Matthew Protas, still. Defense, Frederic Brunet, Victor Soderstrom. Like that, they don't have prospects.
No.
They could go anywhere, honestly. Scroll down to see what they say is best available here.
Klepov, JP, Kiparainen, Villeneuve.
I don't. I think it could be almost anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you make an executive decision here. What do you want to do with them?
Do they have any outstanding wingers outside of Pasta? I can't think of one. Let me take a peek.
Zaka's probably playing 2C for them.
Yeah.
Elias Lindholm could play center or wing. Middlestat could be center or wing. Morgan Geekie can be center or wing. Zaka center or wing. And then you have Tanner Jeannot.
Could we see a Klepov here?
You could. I really like Klepov. I haven't heard a lot about him, which is why I have him falling.
Yeah.
But I really like Nikita Klepov. I am not opposed. I think he's a great play. I think he can be a playmaker, but he can also be a scorer. Like he is super creative. He can do it both. He's going to be a power play menace because you can't just guard the pass or the shot with him. I really like Nikita Klepov.
All right, we'll go with him because it could be anybody.
And I don't like that because I have the Blues taking him at 29.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll make it there. So I really like that.
Canucks. Hello, Mr. Rock.
Liam
Yep.
Ruck.
Liam
is the better of the Twins. He is the shot first player. I think he is a player on his own, could be fine. I don't think Marcus Ruck is all that great without his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And he's more of the playmaking center that just kind of knows where his brother's going to be. So I think Liam Ruck is going to be this pick here. I think pick 33, which all of my mocks, I've done that first pick to give them Marcus Ruck to get the Twins. I think someone will make the Twins happen. They have to go together.
Yep.
So I love it. I went through and I go, this is my slam dunk pick, and I put him there before I even pick other things so I don't forget to do it. All right, Ottawa. Did Ottawa pick already?
No.
No, they traded that 9 that they got. All right, Ottawa Senators. I think they could use defense.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple options here. Um, if they want skill, it's Xavier Villeneuve.
Yeah.
If
I think they have the skill though.
yeah, because you've got a Sanderson, you've got
Shabbat.
Chabad, like you've got some of those guys. Um, I think then you could go Nikita Sherbakov or William Hawkinson. I think are both first round talents. Sherbakov is harder because he hasn't played a lot in front of people because he is Russian.
Yeah.
And so you haven't seen him with a lot of his peers. You have with Hawkinson being a Swede. He's playing in Luleå of the SHL, so he's getting some time against grown men.
Yeah.
I like both of them. I have them taking Sherbakov in mine. I don't know that Ottawa will pick a Russian, though.
Yeah. We'll go with the
So I'm good with William Hawkinson.
Yeah. Let's go with them. Rangers again.
Rangers again. Jack Hextall. They need a center.
Yep. There's also
they need a center. I don't think I think he's a winger.
Interesting.
He's small. He's skilled. He's a shooter. I think he's a right winger.
There's Hextall. Sharks 27.
Who did they take?
They took
Who did we get them?
What was it? Rudolph and Ivar.
Okay.
Do you think they go another defenseman?
In mine, I don't. But looking at it now, you could take a stay-at-home defenseman who you know is just going to be solid for you.
Yeah.
And that's Juho Piparainen. Like, he's a Finn that's just big, solid, isn't going to do too much, is going to be that shutdown guy for you. And I think that would be really good for them.
Yep. Canadians. Japes?
All right. Nope. I got an interesting one here.
All right. Let's hear it.
What does Montreal like to draft? Americans.
Yeah.
What does Montreal need on this very small, skilled team?
Big boy.
Big boy. There is a very big boy American captain of the USNDTP that I think is the perfect fit for them. And that's Casey Neutron.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think it's a perfect fit. They need physicality. They need to put a guy out there that can just play a meat and potatoes game, is going to hit, that's going to be defensively responsible, that is that leadership type of guy that will do whatever he needs to do. And they love to draft from the USNDP. And that's Casey Neutron.
All right. Blues, 29.
Oh, what have we? Can we take him? We take him.
We have Malte, Kaman, Novotny.
I don't know if they would take this player because I've got two guys that I want. It's not JP.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there.
Yeah. Scroll down. So for me, it's are they willing to take a second left-handed defenseman?
Yeah.
And Xavier Villeneuve. Because if you if you're like me and you believe this could be a similar version to Lane Hudson, you can't pass on it.
Yeah.
But I think the Blues, we drafted Gustafsson, who I love. But here's the thing, too. If you look at the Blues roster, because you got to think about this, the Blues roster is very young. On the left side, locked up for years on their defense is Philip Broberg.
Yep.
He's going to be there. They love Theo Lindstein.
Yep.
Who's young. Made his debut this year. Looks like he's got some upside. And then if you have Malte Gustafsson, there's your three on the left.
Yeah.
And that doesn't include, like if I go through the Blues defensive prospects, they've got Burns and Buchinger and Colin Ralph and Godet and Fisher. They've got a lot of left-handed D depth. I think they need right D depth. you went left-handed D because you think there's an upside. I don't think there's another right-handed D that Adam Golger, maybe, if you feel like I'm not high on him. I think he's a lot of deficiencies in his game. Maybe. So for me, if you're not taking Xavier Villeneuve, I like the pure offensive upside talent of Mathis Preston.
Why not?
Get you a wing that is a shot first ripper.
Yeah, why not?
Dude's shot is nasty. And you just got rid of Cairo.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see where that can fill in there. You thought that was kind of going to be Snuggie, but he's got an awesome shot, but he's also a good playmaker as well. And then Justin Carbonneau's coming.
Yep.
Again, decent shot, can be more of a physical power, but he's got good shot, nose for the net. Maybe you just need that pure sniper that you can play with some of these guys. Yeah. And I think that's what Mathis Preston's role would have to be. So I actually love that Mathis Preston is here. I had him going 27 to San Jose in mine, but I really like this as well.
Yeah. Flames.
Calgary Flames. What did they take? Vigo Bjork.
Yeah, they took Bjork.
All right, I think they need a defenseman.
Who?
You cannot take Xavier Villeneuve. You can't. It's all offense.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's not good. Collier, no.
Do they just take best?
You go offense. You go offense. You have to, or you trade this pick, which I could see happening if it falls like this.
Jape.
Again though, are you taking another little guy?
Who knows, man? What does Calgary know?
I don't know what Calgary's doing. That's the problem. Listen, they might take Xavier Villeneuve and go, we're going to have the most offensive skilled team and we're going to try and outscore people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they should.
Yeah.
But again, if this is the next Lane Hudson and his defense is good enough, why not?
Yeah.
Because this is where I had William Hawkinson going, and I thought it was a good fit for them. Yeah. Sherbakov. I think Sherbakov. He's not in your thing. I think that is who they should take. Yeah. It's a left-handed guy.
Yeah.
Plays a good two-way game. Yeah. Give him Beckham Edwards.
You will be Sherbakov. Hurricane.
I like Sherbakov. And I think Sherbakov would probably go higher if we saw him more.
Yeah.
The Carolina Hurricanes. Oh, what does Carolina like to do? Draft small, skilled players. Give them JP Hurlburt.
JP.
I love this fit for them. Yeah. This is a JP Hurlburt. There's a guy on the board still. I don't know how he hasn't gone. We have to give him to Ottawa. It's Elton Hermanson.
Where is he? Yep.
Elton Hermanson. I have drafted 23 to Boston. I could see him going in the teens potentially. I like him a lot. This is how the draft falls sometimes.
Yep.
And this is why it's always interesting, is because there's so many jumbled up that even though I like Elton Hermanson better than some of these players that were drafted, team needs, prospect pool, what they already have, and all it takes is a team liking one player better.
Yep.
For somebody to fall. And you're like, how did that guy fall 15 spots from where we thought he was going to go? Because it took every team there was just one guy that they liked just a little bit more.
Yeah.
And when we do this, man, scroll through some of your prospects still that are available. Because I think the next pick is Marcus Ruck going to Vancouver at 33. But Ryan Rubrick might be the most offensively gifted player in this draft. He's 6'4", power forward, can rip the puck, but he's lazy.
Yeah.
And was going to be probably a top 5, top 10 pick if he had effort ever.
Yeah.
Xavier Villeneuve, stud. Can absolutely go in this first round. Even Ryan Rubrick, like the offensive upside is there. Someone could take a shot.
Yeah.
Brooks Rogowski, a 6'7" center.
Good Lord.
Gives me Brian Boyle vibes.
Yeah.
Yegor Shilov, again, has some lazy issues, super high-end skilled. Adam Valentini, love him. He is a dog on a bone, just small, but I love everything about he plays. Ryder Cali, again, a big, not big, but a more physical playmaking center that has some potential there. Diorio, I'm not that high on. I think he's rated too high. Seamus Ignatavicius, big, physical. Thomas Sharenko, I think he's a sneaky playmaking center. Not a huge guy, though.
Yeah.
Adam Golyer, I could see someone taking a chance on him in the first round, liking his stuff. Nicholas Aram Olsen, I've had him in the first round at times of being a really good scorer. Jackson Cover, pure raw. He's only been playing a couple of years, but has huge upside.
Yeah.
Could see him going. Like in my last mock, I have Ottawa taking him 32. Victor Plant, again, it's the same type of like gritty dog on a bone type player, but again, he's not the biggest guy.
Yeah.
So like there's lots of guys that you could see in this first round. You're like, how did you not put him in the first round? Because again, starting at pick 15, 16, it could go a variety of ways for the rest of this second round. I think we do this mock, we throw it up, and people will agree with it, people disagree with it, doesn't matter. I don't think it matters because it's going to change before tomorrow.
Yeah.
We are not done of seeing trades happen. And I think it's not only are we going to see trades happen, we are going to see trades happen on the draft. Well, there's no draft floor, but during the draft, we are going to see picks being moved. So don't get locked in on somebody at a certain spot because I think there's still 3, 4, 5 trades that we're going to see happen before the end of the first round.
Yep.
Interesting note, I just updated Twitter yet again. David Pagnona responding to somebody that the Wild is one of the teams that is still keeping tabs on Vinny Trocheck. The ask is still high. They think it is a first round plus at least one other solid asset or prospect. The Sabres were also engaged in this as well yesterday.
I was looking at something just a second ago, too. Apparently EP40 is off the market.
EP40? Oh, no. I'm not worried.
No. Pagnotta also said that. So we'll see.
They probably were like, no one will take him at 11.6, and we don't want to eat $2 million for 6 more years.
Yeah.
Also, I will let you know, Pagnona is like my least favorite.
Yeah.
He throws stuff at the wall and hope it sticks sometimes. So I'm not as high on everything Pagnona says. But he does hear things. So every once in a while there's some stuff there. But I trust Elliot Friedman and some of those guys a bunch more. All right. We went long today, but there was lots of trades, lots of signings, and a mock to get to. Hopefully we will get this posted tonight so you have a full 24 hours to see this before the trade and kind of see what your team's about to do. So, if you agree with stuff, you disagree with stuff, let us know. I would love to talk prospects with you. If you are a Blues fan, we're located in the St. Louis area. I did do a Blues-specific draft episode over at one of our friends at the Blues Fan Forum podcast. Go check that out. Everyone else, thank you for everything we do. And until next time, see you.